Ain't playing with nobody. You step in that ring with him, be prepared.
Oh my God! All day. There you go. That's it. That's it.
Just relax. There you go. Just relax. Round.
Fighters, his experience, his toughness, his cardio, he has a lot of heart and he knows that I'm coming to win, and they're saying that this is the hardest he's ever been training.
Peeling back in terms of some of that discipline. But, you know, if training camp happens, you know, if he's locked in and he's looking to make a show and try and knock this guy out, I wouldn't be surprised either. Does he have the gas? Yeah. Even though he's dealing with a bigger guy, you know, it's still, he's been 10, 12 rounds in real fights. Jake hasn't. Jake has shown that he's got tired out in fights.
Jake Paul's confidence is clear as he prepares to fight Gervonta Davis. Known for his bold talk and fearless attitude, Jake isn't holding back this time either. His arrival near Tank's camp creates tension as both train hard to their limits. With Tank focusing on power and speed, fans can feel the build-up toward an explosive showdown.
So right now, I just want to see what he brings to us. We just got off a plane. You know, a lot of work yesterday from the interviews and stuff, so I want to see how he react. 2 sparring partners, and rounds is unknown.
All right, y'all. Let's go. Bang!
When they watch us in here working, they saying we going bang, 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 bang.
There you go. Good. There you go.
When he get in that ring, he's on a mission. Because he understand that he got to put his pants on, training wheels going. You got what you asked for. Let's get it.
Jake Paul is training harder than ever, showing strong focus and discipline. He says this camp is special and promises to show new skills no one has seen before. His sharper combos and better movement make him believe he's ready to shock the world against Gervonta Davis.
Pick him apart, and people are going to be able to see the skill set that I've been working on in the gym that I haven't been able to showcase in recent fights yet.
For Gervonta Davis, this fight means more than just money or fame. It's personal. Facing Jake Paul, a YouTuber turned boxer with surprising wins, Tank sees this as a test of his legacy. The unbeaten champion has gone through a tough training camp with no room for mistakes. Analyst Paulie Malignaggi said Jake's fights aren't fake, but his team often picks easy matchups. This time, though, he faces a fighter who loves pressure and real competition. Tank knows one mistake could go viral, and that drives him to prove why he's one of the most dangerous boxers today.
Knockouts. People like knockouts. They don't care if you're knocking out cab drivers. Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that, though. You can manufacture that, though. You can
manufacture knockouts. You can't manufacture.
To a
Gervonta
degree,
Davis.
you can. To a degree. I mean,
destroying
you can't. Yeah,
Frank Martin.
Gervonta legitimately cannot get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists, though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweight.
But if he was a real knockout artist, if he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. But the way
Paulie,
we did when Felix Trinidad was doing it. You know, the way they did it when Mike Tyson was doing it in his prime. Okay, say what you want about the Mike Tyson era. He knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
Well, by your standard, you could say that Tyson was, to a degree, manufactured.
No,
and
because
Teddy
he fought everyone that was there. Everyone that was there at that time he fought.
Teddy Atlas will 100% agree with this.
With the expense of
Witherspoon. That were afraid of him.
With the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all, doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who I contracted.
You could say the same thing about?
Who had contract issues with King at the time. Except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. You can't say like, oh, but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when are you going to fight them? The lightweight division was stacked with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. Didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. It wasn't.
Teofimo Lopez, another top boxer, said this fight should be seen more as entertainment than a real boxing match. He thinks the size difference and fame factor make it more about attention than rankings. Lopez said it's part of modern boxing, where fights attract viewers more than they impact records. Some fans agree, but others say Gervonta's pride won't let him take it lightly. His point shows how boxing has changed, where stars like Jake Paul mix showbiz and fighting. bringing millions of new fans even if traditional fans disapprove.
It's fun for the sport of boxing. It makes it fun. It makes it entertaining. That's what it is all about. You know, and may the best man win. It's an exhibition regardless. It doesn't count.
Doesn't count? Yeah. We need to see you and Tank, though. Has to happen.
What happened?
It has to happen, you and Tank.
We'll see, man. It's up to the champ. He's the champ, right? He's fighting. He's a celebrity champ.
One of Jake Paul's old sparring partners gave a serious warning. He said Jake has never faced power like Gervonta Davis has. Jake's confidence comes from knocking out MMA fighters, but none have Tank's speed, timing, or precision. He said Tank's power isn't just strength, it's how fast and accurately he punches. Jake might think his size helps, but one clean hit could change everything. The warning sums up what many believe. Jake is walking into real danger against a natural knockout artist.
I think honestly, man, like every single time, you know, people said that Jake would get finished or he would lose a fight, he obviously proved everybody wrong. But I genuinely believe this time, I think that, you know, with Gervonta's boxing IQ and him having Jake come down a little bit in weight, I think Gervonta will beat him, honestly. I think Gervonta will hurt him. I think he'll just use IQ. He'll tire him out a little bit. And, you know, I think he'll land. You know, Gervonta knows how to touch his opponents. But it's interesting because when Floyd fought Logan, the size really made a big, you know, impact. And you saw Floyd struggle, you know, against a big, you know, Ohio corn-fed, you know, wrestling strong dude. And, you know, I've sparred Jake and Logan before, and, you know, they train hard.
You're picking Tank by knockout?
Look, I sparred them years ago. They're much better than when I sparred them. They're athletes, you know, they train really hard.
Former champion Tim Bradley talked about the mental and emotional pressure Gervonta faces. He reminded people that fighters are human and can get tired from criticism and stress. Bradley said, constant online hate and media pressure can break focus. Still, Tank uses it as fuel for motivation. Bradley believes that if Tank stays emotionally calm, his natural talent will crush Jake Paul's inexperience. His message was clear. Jake may enjoy fame, but Tank carries the burden of boxing's expectations.
Tank, you know what I mean? I was misinformed. You know, you gotta know what somebody's going through, man, or have gone through, and where they've ended up. Now, you have to understand that. You gotta understand their DNA, you know. And we as fans, we fail to realize that. We as commentators and fanboys and all that, like we all don't do that. We don't do our research. You know, you got to know about somebody's history. So, like, if you understand where Tank came from, if you understand his background, then you understand how he thinks and why he feels the way he feels. You know, you do. So, I mean, for instance, like, his parents, right? His parents were drug addicts, in and out of the system, in and out of jail. You know, he lived with his grandmother. You know, like, you got to understand when he started boxing, why he started boxing. Understand that, you know, that what the influence that Calvin has had on his life, and how if their relationship isn't great, how that affects him. And if this is not making any excuses, people, this isn't. I'm not making no excuses. I'm just giving you what I think, and I'm giving you the facts surrounding all of this. You know, I remember back in 2012, you know, I'm living right. I'm living civil. I'm taking care of my business. I feel like I'm doing everything right. You know, I'm living right. I'm saying all the right things. You know,
the promotion for this fight has been huge, with interviews, social media clips, and training videos everywhere. But reports say ticket sales are slower than expected. Even with all the hype, fans seem hesitant to pay high prices. Some say people view it as more of a show than a real fight. Still, the marketing team is pushing hard, using Jake's fame and Gervonta's name to keep it trending. The mixed reaction shows how modern boxing works. Big online buzz doesn't always mean packed arenas. The fight's success now depends on pay-per-view and global stream.
The promo was fire. And when his fight first got announced, I told y'all, the promo, when they start promoting it, it is going to be fire. The promo will be better than the fight, right? Because obviously, I don't like the fight. I'm not a fan of the fight. I cannot stand the decision for Tank to go in this direction, although I understand it, right? I understand it because I understand the business behind it. So I get all of that. But the promo is fire. If you go watch it, the way that is shot, the production of it looks very, very top of the line, top shelf, as you would expect from a company as big as Netflix, which is a $530 billion company. So they have the budget, they have the money to make sure their production is A1. Obviously, as a Tank Davis fan, paying attention to him in the promo, the young man looks in good spirits. He looks like he's in a good headspace, and he doesn't look like he's unhappy to be there, which bodes well for the prospects of him continuing his boxing career, I guess, not retiring. And I think that as he gets closer to the fight, as the fight happens, he'll be in this happy place. And I expect for Tank fans, for boxing fans, to get really good news after Tank Davis and Jake Paul share the ring and they do the post-fight press conference. I think that a lot of people will probably be happy with the outcome of what Tank Davis has to say after that fight. But the promo is fire. It's just a trailer. It's up on the Netflix YouTube channel. Go check it out if you haven't already. Really enjoyed watching that promo. Watched it a couple of times. And as I said, I'm paying attention to the press conferences. I'm paying attention to the build-up because
Analysts keep pointing out how Jake Paul picks opponents with big names but low risk. His choice to fight Tank Davis fits that trend. It gives attention and headlines while letting him say he's facing a real champ. At the face-off, people noticed the size difference. Jake looked much bigger, while Tank stood calm and confident. Commentators said it looked strange, but boxing fans know size doesn't equal power. Many saw Tank's calm face as a warning. His history shows he can hit much harder than his size suggests.
Fighting guys your own fucking size. Look at this, John. This is embarrassing. And not to mention, Georgia already said, no, you can't have this fight here. So they moved it somewhere else. Dave, do you know where they moved the fight? Can you look it up? Yeah. This is embarrassing. Look, he actually put his hands on his knees and he was still the same height, maybe a little bit taller than Gervonta Davis. I mean, I'm all in on Gervonta. I want Gervonta to win this fight. I want him to hit. I mean, I'm not saying he can knock him out, but I think if he hits him to the body a couple times, John, he may be able to catch him. A lazy jab or something, he might be able to pop him to the body and get him good. I'm hoping. Jake Paul down with a body shot.
Oh man.
Oh geez.
Could you imagine?
I would it'd be great.
It's a win right there.
It'd be fucking great.
Miami.
Oh, they moved to Florida. Makes sense. The only place that opened up during COVID makes sense. I mean, what's your thoughts on this fight? I know it's an exhibition. I believe it's rounds.
Look at Gervonta Davis is a hell of a fighter, but he's and I think that the one thing that Jake Paul is really going to have to try to figure out in this fight is how do I catch this little son of a bitch, because he's fast, and Gervonta, I would. I'm not telling Gervonta Davis to, cut down in weight like he normally does. Just get in shape. Whatever you weigh, you weigh. Don't try to add weight. There's not enough time for you to add good weight that's not going to make you tighter or anything like that. So just come in at your normal, walk around.
Boxer Bruce Carrington said fights like Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis help bring new life to boxing. He believes these crossover matches attract young fans and people who don't normally watch. While traditional fans may dislike it, these events give the sport more attention. Carrington compared it to older times when showmanship made boxing stars. He said celebrity fighters bring sponsors, media, and global interest. So, in his view, Jake Paul isn't hurting boxing. He's helping it evolve for a generation that loves highlights and viral moments.
Entertainment, right? But this is what this is sports entertainment. This is what's going to put butts in the seat, believe it or not. This is what's going to, bring a lot of money to the sport. Especially, we have people trying to say boxing is dead, boxing is dying. But, we have a whole demographic of people that don't even watch boxing, interested in boxing. So I like to look at it that way. Like we're making these fantasy dream matchups come to life with Floyd and Tyson, And to be honest, I'm a little biased because Floyd, he is my favorite fighter of all time. And Tyson, he is a guy that basically made me fall in love with boxing. And he's like the icon, the myth, the legend for me. So it was like them two fighting. It's like, yo, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So and then on top of that, It's an exhibition, bro. It's not something to be taken serious. It's something that is for the people to just enjoy and watch. It's an exhibition. It's not like they making it a sanctioned fight. Now, Jake and Tank, are they making that a sanctioned fight? I think they are.
They're trying to. It's a lot of moving parts right now with that one.
Yeah, so I think that's where certain things become an issue, because now you're putting it into a serious space. You know what I'm saying? Which it shouldn't be. It's honestly, if it's sanctioned, how the heck they gonna I don't know, bro.
Former champion Carl Froch raised concerns about the size and power gap between Jake and Tank. He warned that such mismatches could be unsafe if not handled carefully. Froch knows from experience how risky fights between different weight classes can be. He said the trend of celebrity mismatches could cause real harm if it's just about money. His warning isn't about doubting skill, but about keeping boxing fair and safe, even in entertainment-style fights.
Jake Paul, that serious, he can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. He swings away, he stands up straight and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, it's just so much wrong. It's just everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defence. He telegraphs his punches. Like you put him in with someone his own size, it was a professional, and it's a mismatch. And you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him, he's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level, and then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds. It's like totally different.
Rising boxer Hermel Martin, close to Gervonta's camp, said confidently that Tank will dominate. He explained that Tank often spars with bigger men, even heavyweights, so Jake's size won't matter. Martin said Tank's ring IQ is elite. He knows how to close distance, time punches, and find openings better than anyone. Jake's size may look scary, but smart, accurate fighters beat brute force. Martin's comments show the belief inside Tank's camp. They see this as another chance for him to silence doubters and prove why he's one of boxing's deadliest finishers.
I feel like it's going to be a good fight, entertaining. It's an exhibition, so we're going to see how serious they really take it, but I don't know, they both getting a lot of money, so, congrats to them.
What if you had it, who has the edge in this fight?
I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. He's a real fighter, and got skills, a high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, I've personally seen Tank, spar heavyweights, and even me, I spar heavyweights, So the weight's not really too much, for a lot of great fighters, so I feel like Tank gonna get it for sure.
Do you think he kind of be an advantage because he's small and fast? Someone said that. I'm I didn't think about that actually.
Yeah, possibly. He gonna see a lot of Jake Paul's punches coming. He can be able to evade them and then set him up for a big counter.
Wait, but do you think this is gonna be different than the other Jake Paul fights we've seen, against Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez? I know a lot of people weren't the happiest with that, but I feel like Tank's gonna give him a different fight. Do you think so?
I think so. We'll see how he adapts to, because a lot of people think it's hard, for a small guy to be fighting a bigger guy, but it's also hard for a big guy to be fighting a smaller guy.